Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Fangirls Only. This week our special guest is Dasha.
Hello.
Hi.
How you
Hi.
doing?
How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Good. All
Great.
right.
Okay, so before we start, do you want to tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah. I was born in San Luis Obispo, California, and I two parents. They got divorced early on, but I have two other siblings. I'm a middle child. And then I guess like on the music front of things, I started doing like dance competitions and musical theater when I was like 5 years old. And I just always loved being on stage. Like that was like my first love of music was performing. So I always had a lot of fun with that. And then I started playing piano when I was 8 and then guitar when I was 10. And then I was always like a really dramatic child. And so I would always write like poetry and like songs. I didn't know there were songs yet, but like in the back of my journals in elementary school. And I still have them. They're so funny. But when I started playing piano and guitar, it was like super natural for me to just start like writing songs. And my parents are like both, they appreciate music a lot. They're very musical themselves. They don't play really, but they just like are in the music scene. And they're like, "Oh, what's going on here? You're writing songs already, huh?" And I was like, "I guess." And then my older brother, he still produces a lot of my stuff, but he's a producer. He was in rock bands growing up, and he always encouraged me to like keep singing. And oh, maybe you should try writing pop music instead of country music, because that's like what I started with, because I was obsessed with Taylor Swift. So that's kind of like my background. And then I went to Nashville for 3 years after high school and went to school for songwriting. And then quarantine hit, and I came back to California and got my management, and things started going well. And then I dropped out of school, and now I'm here in LA. That's like the rundown version of it.
Wow. Okay, so we'll just get started with the questions now. So the first question is, how long have you been a singer for, and how did you know you wanted to be a singer?
Um, I mean, I've been singing since I was 5. Before I could even talk, is what my parents usually say to me. So my whole life, I'm gonna answer for that one. And the moment that I knew that I wanted to be an artist was when I think I was 10, and I played my first coffee shop gig show in San Luis Obispo, where I'm from, and the whole community came out, and I was this 10-year-old who, had no idea what I was doing, but a local songwriter kind of took me under her wing and like showed me what it's like to play shows and helped me write songs and stuff. And so I think just how it felt to like say what you wanted to say and like have people really like understand it and love it. I was just like, this is it. This is what I want to do with my life.
Okay. Okay, so do you have any stories that inspired any of your songs, like, or any backstories?
Oh my gosh, which song do you want background on? Because all of them have like a crazy story.
I guess the craziest one. Um,
Okay. Well, okay, this is one for my album coming up. So it's kind of a plug for that. So, I have an album coming out this year. I can't tell you the name of it yet, but I'm super excited about it. It's my first album. And when my ex and I broke up, we were doing long distance, and in the morning before he like FaceTimed me and broke up with me, he texted me, "I wish you were here right now." And it was like a reference to like a Pink Floyd lyric because he really liked Pink Floyd. Um, and I was like, "Oh, like I wish I was there too, blah blah blah." Then I get broken up with, and I was like, "Okay, there's no way I'm not writing a song called 'I Wish That You Were Here' right now." And so I wrote a song, and it's called "I Wish That You Were Here," and it's going on the album, and it's one of my favorites. It might be a single. It's like everything in the song is very accurate. So when you guys hear that one finally, like there's no made up thing in the story. It's very, very factual. And it's like the fact. It's just like so ridiculous. And so that's probably like on the song. That's the most crazy thing I've ever done for songwriting for sure. Because it's very like aggressive, which is
I'm
funny. But
excited to hear that one.
yeah.
Okay, so do you have any inspirations in the music industry?
Yeah, I mean, Taylor Swift is like a really big one for me growing up. It was so cool to see such a successful woman pave her way so well in the music industry and like really not take no for an answer. She's like really paved ways for women. There's so many different ways. It's crazy. So I'm super grateful for all of her work. But that's like the first one that comes to mind. Of course, like all of like my colleagues, all the people that I write with and like are in my circle are super, super inspiring. I like try to, there's like a thing that your personality and who you are becomes the combination of the five closest people to you. And so I like really take that into account when I'm like making friends. And of course I'll be friends with anyone. Like I love people. I'm very much an extrovert. But like my close friends, like they're very inspiring to me because I love who they are and like I want to be more like that. Hence why they're one of my close friends. So
That's awesome. Okay, so can you tell us when 7 Minutes in Heaven is coming out and what we can expect from it?
yes, it's coming out April 22nd. I'm actually announcing it today.
Oh.
So officially April 22nd, it's coming out. Wait, what was the second part of that question? Sorry.
And what can we expect from it?
Okay, well, I love this song, first off. I'm obsessed. When I wrote it with my best friend Jules, I was kind of going through it. But the funny thing is, we had a session. It was me, Jules, and Rutger, who was like the producer in the session, one of my really good friends too. And we had written a whole other song that day during the session. And we were packing up to go. We liked the song. We're like, cool, whatever. And then Rutger goes, 5 minute song. And we're like, okay, let's do it. Right, let's just see what we can write in 5 minutes. And I started singing da 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 da, and I was like, "Whoa, that's kind of cool. Like, what is that?" And then I kept like seven kept popping into my head because like seven just occurred a lot in my last relationship in just like weird ways. And then Jules and I have like the same brain, and so we were going back and forth like 7 minutes in heaven. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Did you play that game as a child where you like go in the closet with like your neighborhood friend and like make out for 7 minutes?
Nope.
It's funny, half the people I talk to like know what 7 minutes in heaven is because it's
Like
like
I know
a
what
game
it
that
is,
you
but
can
I just never.
play. What'd you say?
I know what it is, but I just never did.
Okay, okay. I'm glad you know what it is because a lot of people are like, "What is that?" And I was like, "That's the whole point of the song." Oh no, but yeah. So 7 minutes in heaven for 7 months in hell. We're just like, "Oh my god, that's so crazy." But honestly, what really sold me on this song was the verses, like the melody and like the words. And I just like how conversational it is. I don't know, but yeah, the song. I'm really proud of the bridge as well. There's like a cool. Obviously, like the big theme is like 7 minutes in heaven, 7 minutes in hell, like the juxtaposition of that. But underlying theme is like childhood games and like making him make well him making me feel like a child and like those emotions. So like obviously 7 minutes in heaven, childhood game, and then there's a line that's like I'm it's ring around the boat, Rosie babe. I'm getting dizzy playing all these games, and the bridge, which is super cool. We like sampled, I can't wait for you to hear it, but we sampled like children talking and playground sounds and da
Oh
da
my
da
god.
da da sitting in a tree, Kissing. You know that?
Oh my
Like we
god.
used to say as a kid, that's like kind of the bridge.
Oh
And
wow.
so yeah. And so we got kind of weird with it, but I'm like obsessed with it. So I'm really excited.
That's awesome. Okay, so what's your favorite song that you've ever written or working on right now?
That's such a hard question. Love Me Till August is definitely one of them. Oh, Make It Work With You.
Hmm.
It's my first EP. It like did the worst on streaming, of course, because like the artist favorite is always like the one that does the worst, which is so funny, but that's just the way it works. But that song is what I call like a therapy song, where I wasn't trying to write a song. I just like had no other option. I was just a mess and like on my floor, 2 a.m., just bawling my eyes out. And I just started playing that, and I was like, please make me feel better. So I started playing the guitar, and I still have the original voice memo of it. It's pretty crazy. That's how the song was born. Yeah.
Okay, so who's your dream artist to collaborate with?
Dream producers and artists to collaborate with. Ooh, that's hard. I mean, I've said it again. Taylor Swift would be amazing. I would just freak out. I think I'd pass out, but in a good way. I would love to write with like Max Martin and like all the legends in songwriting world. I think that'd be crazy. I really want to write with Hardy. This is kind of like a random one, but like I love writing country music, and he's a really really great writer. Who else? Oh my god, there's so many writers and producers I want to write with. It's just this. Oh my god, anyone, any endless ones, but those are like my top. Oh, Julia Michaels.
Oh my
I
god,
would I
yes.
would love to write with her. I would freak out. Love it.
So
Yeah.
this fangirl.
Right?
Okay, so do you have any songs or projects that you're working on that you can tell us about?
Yeah, so my album coming out this year, it's gonna looking like end of summer. It'll be
Oh,
dropping,
no.
and it's a big one. It's a it's around 20 songs, which is just crazy for like a debut album. Um, and yeah, there's and I will tell you this as well. So the album will drop, and then and that'll include like all the singles that have come out, right? And then we're gonna do a deluxe album because there's another batch of songs
Oh my.
and a second wave that I just need to be on this album. And the cool thing about this project, I can't tell you the name yet, but it's the whole story of the album. Every song is about the same situation. So
Oh,
it's about my ex. Yeah, okay, whatever. But like, it's about the day we met, and then 2 weeks in, and then like, oh, I think I really like you, and then, oh my God, we had this fight, and then there's this other girl. What's going on? And then,
oh,
wait, you're gonna break up with me over FaceTime now after all of this, and then like, oh my God, I miss him so much, and then 7 minutes in heaven where you go and hook up with him again, and you're messed up again, and then falling out of love, and then what it means to move on, and then trying to go back, and be like, no, I met someone new, and then being happy again, and then just like it's like one whole chronological thing. So the way that I'm arranging it is in chronological order. So if you listen to the album, how it's supposed to be played, it tells one story, which is pretty crazy, and I'm very proud of it.
that's a whole movie.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so
Yeah.
how would you describe your music in 3 words?
Oh, that's a good question. Honest, um, clever, and relatable. That's what I'd say.
Okay, so this is the last question, and where do you see you in your music career within the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I mean, I see myself winning a Grammy. I see myself world touring. Um, I see myself doing kind of like pushing boundaries by then. In 5 years, I'll be 27. Oh my God, that's terrifying. But yeah, just like I don't know. I've never been one to like follow the rules, and so the music industry I feel like has been stuck on the same track for so long, and especially what it means between artists and label like relationships. And finally, I feel like labels are starting to like, okay, you know what? I will give you a percent of your master, which is just ridiculous because artists should own their masters, you know? And so it's just exciting and like there's so much room to like explore and like do crazy stuff. But like the main thing is like, yeah, I'd like to be winning some awards and doing world tours. The thing I'm most excited about is this touring. I just like cannot wait to perform. So, yeah.
If you ever come to Toronto, I'll come to a show.
Yes! Oh my God, that'd be so fun. I would love that. I'm trying to get on tour with someone like as their like opening act.
Okay,
So we'll see, but hopefully that'd be really fun.
manifest. Okay, so that was all the questions. So thank you so much for coming on. It was great having you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Fangirls out.